both to Facebook and to YouTube. Okay, tonight I am going to be doing something a little bit different. So, as some of you may be aware, I'm a geneticist, and I have spent a few years building medical devices, in particular diagnostic devices. So I built a the first rapid test in Australia for coronavirus. So I'll show you what that looks like. Oh, hold on. Hold on, I'm just going to make sure that this is capturing the right thing. Is that capturing? Hello. I'm going to try to add this again. Sorry for this. Give me 1 second. Let's add another source. Display capture. Okay. That source. This one. Okay. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. Oh, make this a little bit smaller. Okay. Whoa, it's huge. Okay. I'll squeeze this in. Put this lower. Okay. Sorry about this. Can you see my main screen now? Yes. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, what happened there? Bring this up to the front. That's what I want. Okay. Yeah, so basically, I was involved in making medical devices. And that's kind of like the main thing that I do. And the software is incredibly expensive. So what I was thinking about doing is like, I should be able to just like vibe code the entire thing. Now, just to give you an idea about how much this is worth. So I'm going to do this entire project live streamed from scratch. I'm going to show you how to do each and every part of it. I know a lot about quality management systems, and I know a lot about the software, but there's no reason why you couldn't apply this to pretty much any industry. So I've opened up a blank Obsidian where I'm going to track some of the information. So I'll just call this like, I normally just call it like Scratchpad, just for me to like save stuff in as we go. Okay, I'll shrink this down. Okay, basically I tried to work out how much Qualio is worth. Now, as was with almost every SaaS product, software as a service, it's a fucking database with a wrapper around it. It's nothing special. The only special thing about this is it's ISO 27001 compliant or something like that, which we will find out in a sec. So we're going to speak to Claude first. So basically, has 117 employees. It has some patents, has some investors. How much is it worth? It's raised $63 million. It has, last year it had $22 million in revenue. Valuations, it doesn't say, okay. All these places want to get us to pay. So it's a $200 to $300 million company. Could I completely replicate this except for the customers in a single vibe coding session? Well, I actually have a sneaky little trick, which is this is one of the few companies you can actually do this with. And the reason for this is that because it's quality management software, it has to be audited. And the first task you do when you buy the software, which I did, I was renting it, is you get this thing called validation documents. So this basically, what this means, let's have a look. Let's open this up, see what it is. What it says is basically there's a document. There's a document here that explains every single thing that's contained within here and the audit you have to do on their software when you first open it, right? So there's supporting documents, and then there are validation documents. And this thing was fucking painful. This took me 2 days to go through. But interestingly, what it does is it tests every single aspect of the company. So everything needed to replicate their system is in here, which means I should be able to completely replicate that. So what we're going to do is we're first of all going to, we'll just, how much is this worth? So it's a $200 to $300 million company. We are going to go to Claude. So this is basically how I vibe code. Now, we're basically going to need to build a database, which I've never done before in Windsurf. We're going to set up a new project. Okay, new project. Okay, we are going to name the project QMS software. What are you trying to achieve? We are trying to make a local clone of Qualio's QMS software as a proof of concept vibe code project. This is non-commercial, i.e. research. The output will go into Windsurf. All relevant documentation is in the folder. Okay, so this is the there you go. This is the projects feature of Claude. So basically there's this section here, and we're gonna say, okay, so I've got this, let's have a look. Okay, it has this project knowledge. What we can do is we can just drag and drop that in here. Text extraction failed for one of the files. Okay, let's try this. Oh, it doesn't allow you to do folders. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can get it to... Okay, so it's uploading those. And we just did those ones. Now we're going to do the validation documents. And we'll start with val. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to explain to it what we've done. So I have uploaded... two types of documents, supporting and validating. Actually, I might just write this in the Scratchpad. A little bit easier. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and give it as much of an explanation as possible without going over the token limit. So we're going to say I've uploaded two types of documents, supporting and validating. We're going to tell it the goal of what it has to do. You are to create a planning document and set of instructions for replicating the system that this audit, this validation audits. You will decide on languages. So we're just going to get it to write us documentation for this project. So the trick that I'm learning at the moment is to get really good vibe coding stuff happening. It's better to get it to write one thing to write documentation and then another thing to execute that. Design a languages needed, and how this should be deployed. And create a task list for windsurf, a document to initialize the execution plan and an itemized audit to run required checkpoints. Okay, now the other thing as well is I want to make it easy. Wherever possible, make it easy for a person that doesn't know how to code. So basically make it easy for me, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, to make it easy for me to code. So hold on. I'm going to stick me over here. So where are we? Code to use it. Simple databases or databases that are easy to configure and easy to deploy using scripts or such. I'm going to say I want to be able, hold on, look at this. There's a couple of little features that they wouldn't put in that I want to put in now. So I want to be able to enter information in Markdown and the final database must be ISO compliant. With, I'll just find out which one it is. Hold on. So medical, what ISO standards we just got to find out which standards it's got to add here to. Yeah, automated audit. I will double check that, Devin. What ISO standards are needed for medical device QMS quality? Okay, ISO 13485, which we know. There's another one which is risk management. We don't need that. We going to check what quality it has. Okay, there's another one which is just for IT databases. So there's a couple that we need in here, which is, that's cloud, we don't need that. We don't need this. We don't need this. Okay, there's a different one. I think it's ISO 1, 2, here we go, this is it. ISO, this is the one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it's this. 2701. So we'll put that in too. All ISO standards. i.e. What was it? 14971, yeah. 17025, etc. So basically we're building this huge thing. The more time we put in here, the easier our job is. If we can really accurately describe what it is we want it to do, documents of an example compliance system, it should be able to do this for us. Now there might be some problems, and if it does, we have to steer. You know what? Caps lock is cruise control for awesome, but even if you're on cruise control, you still have to steer. So this is where basically you take what you're good at, and you get the computer to work out how to do the rest. So if this works, we're going to try and make a $200 to $300 million company. Okay, so we're going to stick this in. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Let's double check. Yep. Okay. Let's have a look what it says. It might take a little while for it to work it out too. I'm just going to move me across now. Okay, so it's going, I'll just shrink me down to the side, and basically it's going to stick any of the artifacts over here. Let's just run through what it has to say. I'll help you complete this. Let me first through the documents. So this is kind of a unique situation because I have a complete blueprint for their company because it was required under the audit. When I did that audit, I realized that anyone who has this documentation can clone their company. Now, I luckily don't have any assets or IP, so I could launch this tomorrow. They could sue me to oblivion, and I could just declare myself bankrupt. But I literally have no assets or money, so I don't care. I can totally copy a company like this. The most amazing thing is that I actually need this software to run medical device companies. So once I've done this, I've also got another set of documentation that allows me to basically build an entire, so this is just the software to hold the quality management system. Tomorrow night I'll go through and do an inbuilt quality management system inside it. So this is the framework. This is like the thing which holds it, and then the actual QMS inside it. So using React, I don't know what any of this stuff is. React is some web framework or something. TypeScript, that sounds right. It's going to use Postgres, which is what everyone reckons. I don't know what Postgres is. If anyone wants to jump onto this project with me and do this, by the way, oh, thank you, Devin. Okay, so, yeah, the medical devices one. So this company has almost 120 employees, and hopefully by the end of this, I'll have something to compare against it. They just got a Series B of $50 million. I think the Series A was about, no, they got a Series B a little while ago. They've raised $63 million so far. So hopefully we can just dump this into the windsurf Okay. I think we might be hitting the limit of what it can do. Let's have a look. It might have hit the amount of tokens. No, there we go. It's still going. Okay. So basically it lists our artifacts here. So what we can do is we can click here and we can master planning document. We can download it as Markdown, and then we can drag that into Obsidian. So if we have a look here, this is the reason I like Markdown so much, is we can click across and it has it all, right, as Markdown. It's not perfectly formatted. Oh, it actually is. So I don't use Notion. I don't really like it. I just use Obsidian. In fact, I just applied for a job with Notion and I said I was too autistic to apply and to go fuck myself, basically, like 2 hours ago. They have jobs in the Sydney office. I don't want to fucking work for Notion anyway. Yeah, so basically I just drag and drop my shit from Claude into here. So let's have a look how this is going. This is the second one. So we're on here now. Okay. So hopefully if I've done all of this correctly, it will pop something out at the end. Oh, and the other thing you have to do as well, if you're doing this inside of Claude, you have to make sure that every point you click copy, and that actually copies it to the projects folder. So the artifacts themselves can't be shared. The way that the AI works is that it has its short-term memory, but it can't share previous conversations it's had. Even in the same project, it can't share the knowledge that it generated in one chat to the next chat unless you actually put it in this section. Now, I've only used 7%, so that's nothing, right? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly copy this. Okay, that's been copied. We're going to copy this one. And does it finish the next one? No. So we're just going to go back to here, Windsurf implementation. We're going to copy download as Markdown. We're going to drag that into here. So this is exactly step by step how I do all of my projects. Now, there's a couple of little things while it's doing its magic is that I'm going to quickly change the appearance to make it look really cool, which is like, what do I reckon, 80s neon. That looks pretty cool. Okay. Boom. Hell yeah. So, and now, and there's some plugins you can whack in there and stuff like that if you want. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I use this. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, delete. I'm just going to make a folder called Claude. Cut stuff off. Claude output, so we don't lose this. Okay, so we're going to stick this under here. Also, how much cooler? My camera's on the way. How much cooler does the code look in this? And I'm going to close this. This is graph view. This basically allows you to see how your documents are linked to each other. We can do something pretty cool afterwards with Claude if we really want, but that's not what we're doing today. Today is, okay, so it's got a fourth artifact now. Yeah, we'll just make sure that this is, oh, this is the fourth artifact. Just gonna make sure that I copied this across. If you copy it more than once, it doesn't fuck anything up. So how many files do I have in Claude now? 1, 2. Okay, we don't have that one. Let's have automated audit checklist. System planning. Okay. Oh, that's the one that's building. Okay. ISO compliant, QMS, master planning document. Okay, that's execution plan. Okay, let's just have a look at what this is. It might have actually updated it as it went. Okay, so that's the master planning document. It might be updating it. It's good to kind of wait until the end to do all these things. Okay. Docker containers, integration capabilities, Windsurf task list. Okay, so it reckons it can do it in 20 days. She design a cloning agent. Oh, yeah, that's actually a very good idea, Devin. If you can, so I have not actually played with AI agents much. That's like my big thing of the next few weeks is to learn how to do AI agents. Um, so this is basically, it's got like ADHD, ASPI, all that shit inside there. It says that it reckons I can build an MVP in 2 weeks, which is insane. Okay, so this is the execution guide. We're going to copy this, download as Markdown. We're going to flip this across into here. Okay, we have one more, which is a automated audit checklist. Copy. Did I copy the other one? I don't know. Let's have a look. I'll make sure that it's in there. Okay. Let's go double check that. Which was that one? The last one I did was the ISO plan, master planning. Copy. Okay. I think I've copied everything now. We can double check here as well. So there's like some little. Oh, I'm not sure if it actually shows you the artifacts there. Okay, so basically everything is being loaded in here. Now, let's have a look. Basically, we go through here. I'm just going to read through what it said because it's finished up. Okay, doing that. Okay. So it's basically saying that what we need to do now, before we just load this straight into Windsurf, I'm just going to phase by phase. Okay. Database set up with Prisma schema, authentication system with Nextauth, document management with Markdown support, quality event workflows, and validation frameworks complete. Okay, let's have a look what it said for Windsurf and see whether we can run this straight away. We'll have a look at the execution plan. So let's close this and have a look. Development machine. Okay, my computer's big enough to do that. Production server. I don't have that at the moment, but I can spin it up. Database server. Yeah. Backup storage. Okay. Software prerequisites. I think I have all of these. Maybe not Postgres. So what I might do is domain name configured. I have one of these. It's actually ISO 13485.ai. SSL certificates obtained. I have that. Git version control. Development tools IDE is fine. Pretty sure that works. I don't have this. I don't have this. Okay. Team readiness. You're my team. Technical lead. That's Devin. Quality manager. That's me. System administrator. That's me. And end user is Devin. Training requirements. GAMP validation principles and standards. I have all the standards downloaded, so we can tick this. User operation training manuals. I'm just going to use the ones that I got given by Qualio. Okay. Phase 1, initialization, morning session. Okay, how quickly can we burn through this? Server provisioning. Initialize Git repository. Okay. We are going to... Okay, so we need to set up the project directory and Git. So I'm just going to bring this up. Okay. So I'm just going to say that. Okay. Let's go here. We're going to go up. Oh, we don't want to be there. We want to be in vibe coding. What is this? Vibe code. Quality clone. Okay, so we're going to create a new directory called, what was it, QMS, paste that, QMS systems project. Okay, so the new directory is this. Okay, so yep, what else did Git say? Okay, so we've done that. Let's just tick this so we can, hold on. Generally we can strike through. I might not be able to do because it's in code. It doesn't matter, we'll just leave it. Okay. Oh, we should do this on the server. We can just run it locally for now. I wonder if we can just run it initially locally. What do you reckon? You should design a client. Did my GPT already do it, or did yours? Oh, here we go. Thanks, Devin. Thanks, Devin. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just going to read what you said. So, Enterprise Analysis Agent Specification. Purpose. The Enterprise Analysis Agent is the foundation of environments. Okay, I'm just going to put this into something that, I'm just going to put this into a scratch pad. So, let's open a new tab. Okay. Notes. Okay, I'll just whack this in. Okay. Just format this as we go. Okay. Core functions. Okay. So this is meant to be done in Markdown. That's numbered list. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. And is there a 6 that is? Okay. So I'll just fix this up. Okay. Here. And okay, so I think what I might do is go through and tonight actually set up the server that it recommended. This will be a multi-part video, but I want to get it done in under 2 weeks. Now we have like a pretty good plan. I'll do phase 2, and this is just a hobby. I'm not doing this for my actual work. I just need this thing, and I don't want to pay $12,000 a year for it, and that $12,000 US. So I'm going to do it. If you're the CEO of Qualio, get in contact, please. I need a job. I don't need a job. I just need money. If you're interested in this type of stuff, let's do it. I think I might leave it there for tonight. What I'll do is I'll set up the server. I'll tick off some of this implementation stuff, get it ready to go into Windsurf, and I'll try and record all of that, and I'll upload it. All these documents are in my Patreon in the shared, will go into the shared folder. If you haven't subscribed already, it's down the bottom. It costs you like nothing. It costs you like a couple of bucks a month to support my Patreon, Meow-Ludo TV. Please, if you can, support my Patreon. I will love you forever. All my raw files go in there. I'm going to try and vibe code a couple of times a week. I'm making heaps of live music. It's pretty cool. This is going to fund me getting back out of the country and doing what I really want to do, which is making cool art, not making quality management systems. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Devin. If anyone's keen to collaborate or do anything, please let me know. This is streamed to YouTube too. I'll tune in for part 2 soon. I'll try and give you some advance warning. Awesome, and big thank you for